Okay, this is a bit of a detour episode, but I am pretty excited. As many of you will know, I got rid of all of my trucks a while back. The pickup truck, the last one I had, the Beast, was great, but it was just getting to the point where every weekend I was replacing some component on it, and I eventually let it go to a friend of mine who lent it to her friend, who subsequently crashed it, and yeah, it's over. However, I got a call from down the grapevine about a pickup truck that has been abandoned in the village, in the island. Apparently this is a thing that happens semi-regularly, and this one isn't all that bad. So I'm going to go take a look at it, see if I can get it running, see if I can get the papers transferred over, and maybe get a free pickup truck. Okay, surprisingly, the truck actually runs. We got a fresh battery in here, and she starts up pretty good. I think the gas has gotten stale inside, so there's a little bit of cleaning out, and some of the gauges don't work, but hey, you know what? For a free truck, ain't too bad. The issue is, whoever abandoned the vehicle took all the papers and the license plates with them. So I've been reaching around on Facebook and trying to find the original owner. I think I have. So I'm down here sorting out the paperwork, and we're going to see if we can get this thing transferred. Okay, the process here in British Columbia for releasing an abandoned vehicle from its previous owner is to send them notified mail to the address last registered to the vehicle and give them 30 days to reply to that. And then once that is done, they can start the process. Now, what's interesting about this truck is they took the plates and the paperwork and everything else, but they also registered the truck and paid for insurance for another 3 months. The insurance wasn't expiring for 3 months. So basically, I would have had to have waited the 3 months, then done the mail, then then gone through the process with the government. So it was going to take about 6 months just to get this truck. And it's a fine truck, but it wasn't like really necessarily worth it. So I decided to give up on that, and then I guess the cops eventually towed it, and it's been scrapped. So it's unfortunate, but that's what it is. But you know, once you put it out on this island that you're looking for a beater of a vehicle, they have a way of showing up. All right, commercial break time. Rock Pal sent me out their Rock Power 300. It's another power pack. Let's open it up and check it out. Okay, so this is Rock Pal's Rock Power 300. It's a 280 watt hour battery pack, so it's quite small, weighs 7 pounds. You've got a 300 watt pure sine wave inverter built in. You got some pretty nice modern USB outlets, not just your 5 volt, but also 9 volt USB-A, and you got 5, 9, 15, and 20 volts out of your USB-C, depending on what you're charging. So you could run a laptop directly off USB-C on this, which is nice to see the new modern stuff hitting these power packs. The input is more limited. It didn't come with dongles for your solar charge controller, but it did come with a 12 volt input. So I'm guessing that this charger can handle multiple different voltages and has a charge controller built in. They didn't stipulate whether it was MPPT or not, so I'm going to guess it probably isn't, just a PWM charge controller, but it's still nice. It's capped at 24 volts, takes up to 72 watts, so you can put basically a very basic 50 watt solar panel on here and it would charge it up, or you could charge it off your car, or of course a wall outlet. This could run a very basic CPAP machine overnight, so if you really wanted to go cheap and go do some car camping, this might be a battery pack that would help you out. Or if you were, say, wanting to tent camp and you had to bring a CPAP machine, this could keep it running without a heater or a dryer over the night. And of course, you know, for other just basic tech loads, I'm talking laptops, charging up cell phones, charging up your camera batteries, and charging up like drone batteries, stuff like that. that's all well within the capabilities of this little battery pack. As much as I'd love to keep this power pack for myself, I'm going to give it to my friend Mike and let him test it and go through its paces. He's an older guy, he's not used to a lot of this technology stuff, but he does need to keep a cell phone and a tablet charged up and run the odd charger for other stuff. So this should be just enough for him to get by, and we'll get more of an update from him. Okay, well, over the last little bit, I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, and for those of you who are new, I came at this as a traveler. Believe it or not, for the last some odd years, I've been traveling around by motorcycle, by backpack, and most importantly, most noteworthy, by van. Now, I had a cool van called Willie the Whale. She was a 92 B350 camper conversion, and I put 100,000 kilometers on that bad boy and went and saw most of North America. I saw quite a lot, and I miss it a lot. I get that question all the time from those of you who have been watching for a long time. Yes, I really miss that van. It was just such a legend, and I've often, especially as the winter sets in, and it is, despite the sunshine we're getting today, is the heart of the winter right now, and I miss it. So last night I got a really cool, interesting opportunity. There's a semi-abandoned van here in the parking lot of the marina, and as they're doing demolition, they got to move everything out of the way. Tracked down the owner, made an offer, and it was a really low offer, so I wasn't expecting a bite, but I got one anyway. So now I own a minivan. Let's go show you guys this thing. Oh, so this, oh God, it's rancid in here, has been sitting at the shipyard for 3 years now. It's barely ever been run. There's going to be a lot of slight mold issues. The seats have got this fuzzy little mold on it. There's mold growing and a few other things. It smells like a rotten old boat in here. Oh man, I tell you. Oh, this thing's been sitting longer than COVID's around. Otherwise, I think this thing is giving me COVID right now. Oh, something. Let's see if she goes. Hey, starts right up first try. Look at that. So for those of you unfamiliar, this is a 2004 Nissan Quest SE. This is a very luxurious little minivan. It's got power everything. Seats, doors, rear door opens. You got sunroofs, you got moonroofs back there. You got 2 separate TVs built into the top entertainment console. Everything is heated, everything is power. It is really luxurious. And these huge plushy seats. Of course, most of it doesn't function properly. We've got a lot of crusty little corners. The doors aren't fully opening. There's gunk into everything. So the first thing to do with this bad boy is clean it. And then we got to figure out what's actually broken and get that fixed. All right, so as I stressed, I got this van for next to nothing. It is spectacular, and now that it's been cleaned up a little bit, it's starting to look spectacular. Now, I don't know what my plan is with this thing. Whatever, it's a cheap pair of wheels for now, and it's worth a little bit once it's all fixed up. But in order to get it all fixed up, there's 3 tiers of broken things. Now, the easy tier are stuff that I've kind of already fixed a lot of, like the headlights are no longer fogged out. We did that with some cutting paste. We've got the automatic doors here actually work now, although they are a little slow and tired, but they do work. The mold issues are all gone. The whole thing has been deodorized. I absolutely drenched it and cleaned it all out. There is also an issue where that little LCD screen has failed. It's a super common issue with these Nissan Quests. The LCD always goes out, so I've ordered the part and we'll replace that soon. That's a fairly easy one. There's also an issue with the door in the back here. Now, like I said, everything is electronic on this thing. Everything's automatic. This piston here is supposed to open and close that door, and it does not. It seems to be disconnected. Maybe that's all it is, but we'll open this up and find out. So far, so easy, but I took it out for a test drive and I discovered something that is probably not quite as easy to fix. She might be running really well right now, but don't let that fool you. The rats have gotten into this engine compartment. And if there's one thing rats love to chew, it's wiring. So somewhere in here there's a short or an issue that's causing the entire vehicle to just shut down randomly. And it's like an instantaneous shutdown. So I'm thinking it has something to do with the ignition circuit. And because this is a 2004, it's fairly modern, more modern than I'm used to dealing with. There's about, I don't know, 17, 18, 19 items on the ignition circuit. So it's quite a complicated job to dig in there and find out where the short is. Those of you who have been watching me for a long time will remember me out on the V-Star in Saskatchewan having the same issue. And if you'll remember, it was 40 degrees Celsius and I was out there for 2 days in that parking lot, pulled the entire ignition circuit out of that bike and could not for the life of me find the problem. And in the end, I never did, but it ran. I fixed it somehow, never found out what it was. Hopefully I'm a little bit better now, and hopefully it doesn't take quite as long and I don't have to swear and cuss quite as much. It's really irritating. It happens at any RPM. Often it happens at hills. Sometimes it happens as soon as you start the car. Sometimes it happens when you go down to idle. And basically what happens is the vehicle shuts down. Sometimes it's hard to start, sometimes it's not. More often than not, lately it's been harder to start. And then it just sits there. Now, and then when it does reboot, it boots into limp mode, which tells me, yes, there is a fault code. So, see that tiny little black notch back there? Well, Liz lent me her little OBD2 Bluetooth scanner. So that allows me to connect to my phone, get a Bluetooth signal that tells my phone what fault codes are in here. Super, super handy. And if I worked on cars more often, I would totally own one. So I pulled up 2 error codes. One is for the VIAS sensor, which I put in an order for because I have to get it shipped in. And the other one was down at the parts store. It is just a camshaft position sensor. So we're going to swap out the camshaft position sensor and see if that solves the problem. That is directly connected to the ignition circuit on all vehicles, as I have learned back in my van life days. So I'm thinking that's the one. And if it's not, it might be the crankshaft position sensor. Cheap sensors. Let's just swap it in. Okay, I really hope this is the fix because the sensor is right there. And by modern vehicle standards, that is incredibly lucky. It never works out this well. 1 bolt and she's out. Such flimsy little plastic. What a pain in the arse. There you go. A fresh one. Okay. So it's slightly different. You see? That's the old one, that's the new one. All right, so we got almost everything sorted out here. I'm just gonna turn it on. There you go. That is a functioning LCD. Very squeaky belt though. Look at that though. I had no idea how many kilometers is on the clock. 185,000 kilometers. That's kilometers, not miles. I know a lot of my viewers are American. So that's still really good mileage. That probably brings the value of this vehicle up a little bit. Nice little payoff. All right, so the van runs, but now I have a new problem. Check this out. That's a little bit louder than before. Wrapping some stuff around in some hose clamps, but that doesn't seem to have done pretty much anything. This right here was a temporary solution, and it has temporarily not worked. And unfortunately, I didn't have the $900 to just go and buy a whole new piece here. So I had to order it online and get like a cheaper made one. And in the meantime, I've made do with these little like zap strapped in flexible joints just to replace the ones that failed. And well, it's an exercise in entropy because it's always breaking down. Now I'm gonna make an effort, now that the new part has come in, to get these bolts off, but we all know the truth. I'm gonna be under here with an angle grinder in the next 5 minutes. So wish me luck. All right, well, I like to say that this came out easy, but it did not. And moreover, the part that I ordered I thought was a little odd because it was missing the O2 sensor slip. But I'm like, well, maybe I'll just drill it out and put that. I'm glad I didn't start by doing that because I just tried to dry fit it on here just to make sure it all lined up. And it doesn't at all, doesn't fit, so I have to wait another 3 weeks for another part to show up. In the meantime, I get to park my beautiful new van I've spent time and money on and not drive it and get back on my bicycle. Something tells me I'm not driving this for the next couple of weeks. All right, today's the day. We even got Dusty here to help /watch/ poke fun at us. And I'm hoping they actually sent the right muffler this time. That looks right.
Looks pretty.
That looks right. They didn't send out any hardware, but it's okay because the shipyard keeps providing. This is the buckets and buckets of stainless hardware I still have left over from when the shipyard was running. That's some quality work right there. Big chunky washer, no bolt up there, but I think it's gonna hold, and that's what counts. Last step is to get this O2 sensor out of here and into there. Honey, you gotta start the car now, okay? That's pretty noisy. Here we go! You have fun, Dusty? Watching them within swinging distance. Give her a twirl. So quiet. Oh, so quiet, honey. Oh, that's quiet. Dusty, you do good work, buddy. No, that noise is actually the seaplane taking off. That's not me. Don't worry about it. Okay, well, it's been successful. We now have a chariot for Honey to roll around in. You love it, right? You're like a big fan of that. We still use the bicycle a lot too, but this is just convenient to have around. Plus, it's such an easy vehicle to drive. I lend it out a lot to friends and other sailors that arrive here that are friends of mine, can just use it to run up to town and get groceries and stuff like that. My sister's arriving next week. She's going to borrow it for a bit and travel around BC because she'd like to see some of BC, and she'll be slinging her mountain bike onto the roof with her boyfriend and just like having a grand old adventure. So being able to just give them that vehicle and not worry about it, because again, it got it so cheap, I don't really care, and it runs great and it's smooth and it's like decently efficient and quiet. I mean, I'm really turning into a minivan guy. It's just pretty sickening. I've already done a van life trip on it myself. I took it up to Tofino and did a little like weekend camping trip and got some surfing in.
Honey loves it. She likes being in this. This is the first vehicle she's been in where she's not freaking out the whole time, huh? And just kind of relaxed, so that's good. Anyway, we've also had a chance to test out that Rockpals battery pack for quite a while. Mike's had it this whole time, and he hauls it back and forth a fair bit. He charges it up, and then it stays charged for a week for him because he's only charging up a tablet and a laptop, or a tablet and a cell phone. So basically, for him, it's more than enough battery pack. It is like not the nicest build quality. It doesn't really compare to the Blue Eddies and the Kodiaks in terms of build quality, but it hasn't broken down either, and the price is really low. So if you're looking for a bare bones, like a step up from just a regular USB power pack, I can suggest it. It's decent. I'll leave a link in the description. You can check it out. Thank you to Rockpals for sending it out, and thank you guys for watching another video about a van and not my boat. I'm sorry, but stuff is happening on the boat. It's just, you know, not in this video. Thanks for tuning in.